Hello, everyone, and welcome back to One Soccer. I'm your host for today, Josh Deming, joined by my colleague Alex Gonge-Ruzik, and our special guest for today, Stephen Afrifa. Stephen, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me.
Not a problem. I'm excited to chat with you. My first question for you is this, this is your first Canada camp. I'm very excited to see you called up by Jesse Marsh. So I'm just curious to see what your first impressions have been for so far in the camp and how the training sessions have been.
Yeah, I'm great. Great environment. The guys are amazing. As the training very intense, so still trying to get used to that, but it's amazing. It's a good experience.
Stephen, it's a pleasure to have you on today. It's great to chat. Kind of on that theme, you're one of a few new faces in this Canadian squad, which is always unique. You know, you're maybe meeting guys, shaking hands, etc., introducing yourself. How exciting is it to just be a part of this and to have this opportunity to represent your country for your first time?
Yeah, it's amazing. It means a lot. I've been watching these guys the last couple of years, hoping that one day I'd be in the same room as them, and I finally got the chance. So just trying to take it all in.
So, Stephen, we're going to rewind here a little bit to your time at FIU in the NCAA. I was curious to see what that experience was like, especially because you were able to play there with your twin. Must be a pretty unique experience, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's great times on my FIU memories, and towards the end, got to add my brother to the mix. So again, I would say he was always the pain in my side, but loved having him there, and playing with him was very fun.
And of course, you got to go through the super draft process and the whole unique aspect of it. I guess kind of take us through it. How was going through it? Because there's a lot of I imagine camps, interviews, etc. Just to getting your name called by SKC and being like, okay, professional journey starts.
Obviously, for me, everything would have started my junior year. That's when I had my best season at the time, and started hearing the talk. So you could get drafted, and then it was okay. Got to wait another year. So next season came around, and I improved on my stats and my play. And I was told I was for sure locked into the super draft. So I went to combine with top guys in the country, played in front of pretty much every MLS team. And there I was able to show myself. So had a lot of interest from a lot of teams around the league. And going into the draft, I understood kind of where I was going to go, but I wasn't really sure. And then luckily enough, got picked up by Sporting, 8th pick, and yeah, everything started from there.
Now, you've had a bit of a breakout season in your sophomore campaign. What has worked well for you so far this season?
I would say just I'm a lot more comfortable. Just last year, it was more of just me trying to catch up. Just college level to the pros is completely different, a lot faster. Guys are more technical, a lot less mistakes. So last year for me was just a learning experience, and then coming into this year, I obviously used the off season to work on my game a lot. Started off very well during preseason, and coaches were very proud with how I'd been progressing, and they started giving me the chance, and I've been trying my best to take them.
Where Stephen, you had a big moment away to the LA Galaxy. Result didn't maybe go the way your team would have liked, but you score your first MLS goal. You end up scoring 3 in your next 4 MLS games. You kind of get on a bit of a run. Do you feel like that goal, I guess first off, how special is it just to score a Galaxy, obviously a historic club, but do you feel like that goal was kind of like, oh yeah, I can play at this level moment?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I said it plenty of times after in interviews, but it was a very defining moment for me. Just finally felt like there was weight lifted off my shoulders to get the goal. And as you could see, it just helped me gain my confidence, and I was able to keep pushing and building on that for the next few games.
Well, speaking of confidence, you did score a banger in Leagues Cup against Toluca. I want you to walk me through that goal. Did you, take a touch and took a look up and saw the keeper a little bit off his line? Is that what you intended to do? Put a bar down like that? Just walk me through it.
Not bar down like that, but obviously I meant to shoot it. I had a chance earlier on in the game where I was a bit far out and did not end up anywhere close to where I wanted it to go. So just the second time around, it was more of just trust yourself. I love coming inside like that and finessing. So seeing the opportunity again, and something our coach always tells me is to really push to get join the attack when we counter like that. So the whole time he was yelling at me to get up the field, and I was just listening to him. I got the ball, and that was just this decision I made, and it worked out perfectly.
So you've made a bit of I guess, a reputation as a Swiss Army knife for Peter Vermees in the attack. I'm in Vancouver, so when you guys came here, I saw you play right wing. I've seen you play left wing. I know out of college you're playing striker. What's that been like, getting to play those different roles? And do you have a favorite, or are you just kind of like, as long as it's on the field, that's my favorite?
Yeah, I'm for sure as long as I'm on the field. I would say if I were to rank it, left just because I can come inside and shoot, and then right, just again on the wing. I don't have to deal with these big center backs. And then third, I would say striker. Worked in college because I obviously just use my speed, but at this level, everyone's got the speed and size, so it's I would stick to the wings.
That's fair. Now, Jesse Marsh has made quite the impression on Canadian fans. Obviously, a very impressive Copa America run. He's also recruited a few dual nationals, Tani Lawashi, Nico Seeger, yourself. What were the conversations like with Jesse so far?
Yeah, just good call. He introduced himself and just explained how he wants the direction he wants us going in, and he said that he thinks I'm a good fit for it. So just wanted to bring me in and just get me used to the system so we can build on it and push into the next tournaments. And obviously, great meeting. Clearly defined what he wants from me, so I understand where we stand and just looking to hopefully show him that I can fit this system.
I guess to that point, did he maybe, mention where he sees you in terms of a position, or does he see that versatility as an asset, knowing that, okay, maybe some days you could be right, some days on the left? Did he kind of mention that?
Yeah, he asked me where I felt most comfortable, and I told him left first and then right. Don't mind it at all. So he said, yeah, it works. He likes his guys playing on their strong foot, so he would see me playing on the right wing, and said perfect.
Now, after watching Canada's Copa America run, did that motivate you to want to be a part of this special group and obviously getting this call shortly after?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for me, I would say the defining moment was the Peru game. It was right here in KC. I got to go watch the game, and I seen a few of my friends playing on the field, and that gave me that extra motivation. Obviously, I think during Copa was when I had my little run of good form. So yeah, you could say that was the motivation.
Yes, to that point, I mean, it's pretty unique group of guys, kind of born late '90s, early 2000s, who are getting their minutes professionally, Europe and MLS. Years ago, that was a dream for Canadian fans to just have a handful of guys in MLS. It feels like now you turn on the TV, you got Canadians everywhere you look. How surreal is it to kind of be part of this surge of guys?
Oh, it's amazing. Obviously, it just shows that Canadian soccer is improving very fast, and there's a lot of young guys coming through the system. So hopefully, I get to be a part of it. And coming together here, we all just get to learn. We got a lot of years ahead of us, and just shows that we can really do something special if we just keep pushing.
Now, like I mentioned, you are a dual national, eligible for both Canada and Ghana, or at least you were eligible for Ghana. You grew up in the 2000s, so I'm just wondering if you have any special memories from that 2010 World Cup following that Ghana team. It was a very special team to watch. All of Africa was behind them, so I'm just curious if you have any special memories from it.
Special, I would say, was the whole run Ghana was making. Obviously, proud moment for me. Spent most of my early 2000s living in Ghana, so still felt very close to them, and obviously watching them progress the way they did throughout the tournament was amazing. Very heartbreaking how it ended. I'll be honest. I did cry myself to sleep that night, so not the best way to end it, but obviously I was proud of what they did, accomplishing everything. So yeah.
So Luis Suarez is not a player you you like too much. I'm kidding.
It took me a few years to forgive him, but I'm on good terms with that.
I was gonna say, you probably saw him in the Canada Uruguay game. You're like, man, this guy again.
Yep.
But I guess to that point, I mean, how cool is it that maybe growing up for a lot of guys, especially dual nationals, you're watching World Cups, you're watching your home countries, your parents' countries being able to play in these tournaments, and now kids maybe in 22 they go out and watch Canada at a World Cup this summer. They watch Canada Copa America. How cool is that, do you think, for kids to create memories the same way that Ghana team kind of left an imprint on your young self?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I want to say that those are the moments that got me where I am today, like gave me the motivation to work. Obviously, we look at 2026 and it's a great moment for Canada, and I want to be a part of that. So I feel like kids just like me watching World Cups, just the atmosphere, it gives them that drive to push for their goals. Maybe they don't even like soccer, but just moments like that, just representing your country, the pride it brings them, gives them that extra motivation to pursue the career.
Beautiful. All right, Steven, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck in your first Canada camp and in MLS for the rest of your season with Sporting.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me.